Morning, YouTube! Southern Yankee 571. Know the face, know the name. Got a bit of information for you today, guys. If you haven't seen Lisa Haven's video today over on Restricted Republic, it's perfect. I've been telling everybody to get involved in politics. She took a seminar and she did a 30-minute segment today explaining on what you all can do to get involved as far as emailing your Congress people or starting petitions. So if you get the time, go over to Restricted Republic, check out Lisa's video. It's really, really important to follow through with what she's trying to do. She's trying to get America back on its feet and uphold our constitutions and our freedoms. So rock on, Lisa Haven. We love you. Restricted Republic is one of the best news feeds you guys can find nowadays. Now, back to what this channel is designed for. I still got a few constitutional amendments to talk to you guys about. Now, I'm going to do the 8th one, which I should have did on my last video because it went hand in hand with the other 3. But the 8th Amendment is designed stating that excessive bails shall not be required during a conviction or jail sentence, and that there should be no unusual or cruel punishment to inmates. Now, the reason why we're bringing this up today is just recently, within this year, just in Alabama alone, the prison systems during the quarantine and lockdown had suffered severely. And I'm not just talking with food rationings or classic rioting of the police department, but there was one prison in particular when we had the heavy rainfall back in, I believe it was May. Their cells were flooded and everybody was quarantined. So these inmates, most of them in there for victimless crimes, which is a topic we'll cover some other time, were stuck in flooded conditions. I mean, wearing rubber slides on concrete floors that have got like 2 inches of water, slipping, falls, injuries. But yeah, that right there goes against our 8th Amendment. Now, the 9th and the 10th Amendment, I think, are the most crucial right now in today's society. Now, these amendments were revised back on December 15th, 1791, because up until then, they were still having issues like we kind of are today. The 9th Amendment states that all rights in the Constitution are for the people and not the government. Let me say that again. All the constitutional rights that are out there are designed for the people, not the government. Now, that amendment should be the flagship of what's going on in today's society, because that it pretty much states that our Constitution is for us, the citizens, and not those in power. Now, the 10th Amendment is the biggest issue right now in 2020. The 10th Amendment states that the federal government has no power over anything only specifically granted by the Constitution. Now, what that means basically is that our governments have no power over anything unconstitutionalized that doesn't abide by our freedoms and laws. Now, let that sink in. The 10th Amendment states that our federal government has no control over anything other than upholding the constitutional rights of the citizens. Alrighty? Now, on local news, back in May, actually May 8th of this year, former Chief Justice Roy Moore filed a lawsuit against Kay Ivey over the mask mandate. He claims that these mask mandates are unconstitutional and a tyrannical abuse of power, which a lot of people agree with. I agree with it. Josh Lewis, I know you're out there, you agree with it. Most of the citizens of Alabama agree with this. But here's the kicker. He filed that back in May. It was dismissed. He brought it back up on July 27th. They dismissed it again. He brought up a third lawsuit on August 11th, and it was dismissed again. But he's been very persistent. And Chief Justice Moore, I want to commend you, because what he did was back in September 25th of this year, just last month, he went and filed again. Now what we need to do, people, because when he went back in September, he got the backing of the city of Scottsboro itself. So entire cities are getting involved with this. So if y'all get a chance, find that petition, research former Chief Justice Roy Moore's lawsuit against Kay Ivey. Get involved, sign that petition. The more of us that step up and sign that petition, the sooner we could get rid of this tyrannical agenda of the face masks, which is causing more medical problems, which I've covered in a previous video. Now, did anybody have a chance to watch any of the last few Biden versus Trump debates? Now, ladies and gentlemen, I've come on here and said, yeah, that I back Donald Trump because he's the lesser of the two evils. But to be honestly with you guys, when I watch these debates and I'm thinking, who lost these debates? The reality of it is, folks, it's looking like the American people are losing these debates. It has become a finger-pointing, poop-slinging monkey party in politics. And again, like I said before, we cannot wait on these politicians to figure out what they're going to do. Because in the long run, what they plan on doing is not going to be good for you and I. So, I have said it hundreds and thousands of times, ladies and gentlemen, this is our country. This is the land of the free, the home of the brave. People come from all over the world to come here to have the freedoms that we have in this country. And if we don't stick together, we're going to lose that. You don't want that. I don't want that. I want my kids to have the same freedoms I had growing up. And I bet you do too. So this is a part of the channel where I got to give mad props to local businesses. Always. Susie Chamlin and Dylan Scott over at 2 Peas in a Pod. If you guys still haven't checked out that store, you need to. They got everything that you need, from clothing to tools to electronics to air compressors, and they have a layaway program. Why go out and spend your money at Lowe's? Why spend $1,500 on a washing machine if you could get it from people like 2 Peas in a Pod? Support your local businesses, ladies and gentlemen, because if you don't, they're going to shut them down. And that's part of the agenda. They want to shut down private-owned businesses. They want to take away our rights to prosper and make our own money. I want to give a shout-out to a few people out there just rocking and doing their thing. Casey over at Rosebud, you're doing a great job. Keep doing what you're doing, girl. Hopefully one day we could do a piece so we could get you guys on camera. Rose, y'all stay clean. Do what you got to do, baby. I know you can do this. All right? You're a strong individual. Very independent woman. As always, guys, make sure you check out Restricted Republic. See what Lisa Haven's got going on. Check out the Hodge twins. They're constantly putting out really great information. And they do it with such a flair and comedy. These guys are amazing. And as always, Graham Allen, don't forget him. Dr. Kanan Bridges, beautiful man. I respect what he's doing in the world. Let's stand up, patriots. I love you all. God bless.